Center, which will act as a 501c3 organization as defined by the Internal Revenue Service. And so, to me, that's kind of flowery language. But here's what the specific purpose is. It says providing educational opportunities that will improve the health and well-being of all participants. And so here we are going to the educational factor that allows us the exemption under 137.100 subsection 5. And it specifically is stated in the Articles of Incorporation. So it's not just that the Knox County Community Center is coming in and saying, everybody look, we're doing all these great educational things. This is registered with the state of Missouri, and this shows what the actual purpose is, and in the information that's filed with the Secretary of State's office. So the Knox County Community Center, for all practical purposes, is holding themselves out to be an organization that provides educational opportunities. And you see in here it says that the main purpose is to provide educational opportunities. It doesn't say the main purpose is for recreation. It doesn't say the main purpose is to have a pretty building on the square. It specifically says for educational opportunities. So one, that is one factor that I believe that goes to the second prong of the test. Second, if you look at, I would like to read to you what the mission statement is for the Knox County Community Center. Our mission is to educate every resident of Knox County and surrounding community on the three prongs of healthy living: fitness, nutrition, and tobacco-free. And that is the mission statement of the center that's been provided and held out to. Once again, it's not saying, hey, we're just here to do fun things. Sorry. We're here to do fun things, or have a pretty building, we're just trying to, increase the revenue in the city, or whatever it might be. It specifically shows that there's three prongs: healthy living, fitness, nutrition, and tobacco-free. If you would I would like to direct you to the packet, to the bylaws. And it says the bylaws of the Knox County Community Center. I believe it's in the front of the packet, just past the tax exemption.
Go ahead.
Okay. And specifically under Article 2, it states in the bylaws that the purpose is the Knox County Community Center is organized exclusively, and here we go, which actually follows the statute, charitable, religious, educational, and scientific purposes, including for such purposes the making of distributions to organizations that qualify as exempt organizations under Section 501c3 of the Internal Revenue Code, or the corresponding section of any future federal tax code that specifically to promote quality living and well-being for people of all ages by education, here we go again, education through fitness, recreation, and wellness opportunities. And so once again, I submit that also goes to adhere or to satisfy the second prong of the test. Also, I would like to direct your attention to the last page of the document, which is a list of some educational opportunities, and I actually have another list that I'll provide here in a little bit of. This was just a general overview of some of the educational opportunities that are provided at the Knox County Community Center, which talks about the fitness classes, the numerous nutrition classes, the cooking classes, the smoking cessation classes, the Arthritis Foundation exercise class. There's the after-school programs focused on nutrition and being active. They've sponsored health fairs, managing diabetes through the holidays. They've sponsored the Knox County Awareness Coalition events, such as Dances for Youth and community awareness meetings, game nights and movie nights, hosted and sponsored back-to-school fairs where children are given supplies and made dental, vision, and other things are available. Speed and agility camps for high school students, art classes for adults, and theater camps for children. And whether or not the educational goes to educating us about our body, or educating students about art for adults, or theater camps for children, I mean, educational is such a broad category that it doesn't have to be just specifically nutrition, etc. And so I think that this shows that the community center has a broad range of areas in which they're trying to educate the community on. In addition to, I have some pamphlets that are provided that I would like to present. It just shows the Knox County Community Center nutrition pamphlet, as well as the virtual tobacco and cessation pamphlets that are provided for opportunities that are available at the Knox County Community Center. So one, the second prong of the test is the property must be actually and regularly used exclusively for the charitable purpose, which the charitable purpose gets defined as educational and under that realm. And so I think it's important to understand exactly what the community center does, and we've established that their purpose and that they're a 501c3. The last prong of the test is must be used for the benefit of an indefinite number of persons for society in general, directly or indirectly. And I think honestly that the property speaks for itself. It's a Knox County Community Center. It's not limited to you, it's not limited to me. It's for an indefinite number of persons, and I would present as evidence of such that, and this also will help support prong number 2, events that has been sponsored or put on by outside groups, which also goes to show that there's a lot of educational opportunities. And so I'm not going to go through this entire list in its entirety because it's several pages, but it is specifically broken down into events that were sponsored by put on by outside groups. And there's 2 pages of documents for that. There's nutrition and fitness education opportunities that are also listed here, in addition to the documentation that I provided earlier. There's also events that were used to promote fitness and nutrition education, in addition to the documents that I provided earlier. And then there's also a list of fitness classes that were offered. And at the bottom it says other groups that have used the facility for numerous trainings, such as the USDA, the Health Department, the Conservation Department, the University of Missouri Bradford Research Center, and Regional Planning. So we are coming to you as the board to essentially ask you to make a consideration and make a determination that the Knox County Community Center should be considered tax exempt under the statute. Like I said, the statute is confusing, which is why I provided the additional documentation to try and put you guys in the shoes of how the state would view this. We would really like to, for the benefit of the community, we would like to urge you to seriously think about and consider this option, because the next step obviously is going to the state and asking them to essentially hear the decision again, which then uses valuable resources of the community in order to do that. And so we would ask you to make this consideration, and if you have any questions, we'd be happy to entertain those. I can also have Thomas talk as to why he believes that it should be presented or it should be considered tax exempt if it pleases the board as well.
You know, going along with all the educational stuff that we've done, I mean, that has been our main purpose, even with the theater camps, with all this stuff. We try to incorporate educational material in that with the health and nutrition when we do a healthy snack with the kids, when we do take them outside to play, when we do the speed and agility camps over with the high school boys. It's more than speed and agility. We're talking about lifetime goals. We're doing leadership training at the same time. You know, with all the stuff we do, we really try hard to incorporate educational aspects of everything we do. So, as far as that goes, you know,
So I think on the surface, when you're looking through the list, you may say, well, what does this have to do with promoting educational aspects of the center? But, you know, if your child or you're involved in the actual camp or the activity that's going on there, I think that you would have even a better understanding as to how the community center, from the very, very origination, has focused upon the educational aspects and trying to increase the awareness and information brought into the community about the educational benefits from a vast array of things.
I do have a question. Do you all have, so I know you charge for service for the fitness center part of it, correct? Do you have any kind of program for, say, those that can't afford the membership fee in order to?
No, we don't. Our goal and the board's goal initially was to make it as cheap as possible for everyone across the board and keep the lights on. So we projected how much money we needed through the year. versus how many memberships we thought we'd sell, and that's how we priced our memberships. Just basically, this is the amount of basic money we need, so that way it is as cheap as possible for everyone. And, I mean, our rate's at $30 for a family for a year, $30 a month. You know, we really try hard. We are the cheapest of most gyms in the area, and that was our goal initially when we priced it, was to keep it just as cheap as possible. And we do have the nonprofit rates for the educational side, so groups, like nonprofit groups and stuff, and that list of sponsored versus discounted rates shows like the groups that we sponsored it so they had no cost of it. The discounted rate, they got it, excuse me, they got to use the building for a discounted rate. And you'll go through, that's a pretty good sized list there too, so.
You guys also have exercise programs at no charge.
Yes, I mean, we do, the Arthritis Foundation classes have been offered for free at no charge, and then we have a lot of other classes, the running groups and different groups outside we do, are no charge for anyone to come to.
No, any other question this time? Do you have anything else this time?
No.
We'll hear from
I
you.
do. I have some questions.
Actually, you,
Oh, I didn't get to ask them.
we'll go with the assessor this time.
No, I have lots of reading material.
Thank you, ma'am.
What I included, first I'm listed, my job is to put value on properties, period. I don't wanna make a decision that's gonna be set something in stone, that's going to reflect for years down the road on something that's gonna set a precedence that shouldn't have. So that's, I'm very proud of our community center, so that being said, I'm trying to do something that's my job. The first thing that I've given you here is a copy of the property record card, which, is interesting, the fact that we aren't disputing values, and that's a good thing to know. They have made their appeal on the exempt status, so, but you do have a copy of it there so you can see how it's priced and what it is. The next sheet is actually the equipment that is included inside their fitness part. That is the assessment list. It's item number 2. I think it's interesting that our appeal is based on the same statute. We're going to the same section to converse on. We just need a clear statement made on that. I'm not an attorney, I'm not a legal person, so therefore that's why we come to have a judgment made. So I have also included the revised statute. I also included the part where from the grand opening, this is how I kind of come to this, was making the decision whether to put this on there, is because of the cost. My question is, are we covering anything that we're looking for? The description that's on here would make me think that I have to pay membership to be a member. I don't know what, some of my questions would be, if you are a member, are you a member from paying this fee here, or are you a member from the main from the cost of building the building? I don't know what the membership is. My next article, I used the KTVO article where it describes the building and its use. The statements that are made in there for those that were involved in it kind of persuaded me to feel like, you're looking more towards a fitness center, not so much as something that is just available to everybody. It's got to be available to those who can't afford it as well. So that's why I kind of used that. I used a decision from the State Tax Commission appeal number 10588. Some of the things that it is referring to, this big bin wood back in tennis ball. So it's kind of more of a similar type building purpose than what was in this other complaint. So that's kind of where I'm basing my findings, is to say, okay, I'm going to put it on the tax roll. Basically, those are the things that I'm using to try to is every reference is fest as well. Need to do these things and it's a decision.
Say, one specific part of it, consistent lessons, so you get it,
Well, when I use the state tax inclusion appeal, I guess it's exclusive use. Property is being used for the purpose of the organization in these events. If the property is rented out for purposes of that of the organization, it's not exempt, even though the rentals received are used for the organization's purposes. So if the use of the property in question is to generate funds to support the other work community, then the property in question is fully taxable for property tax purposes. So that exclusive use of education or charity, that's exclusive use. Also, in their information, the Article 2, where it determines federal income tax under 501c3, federal income tax does not necessarily automatically make you property tax, real property tax exempt. And then in their other letter, Article 3, State of Missouri Sales and Use Tax Exemption Letter, it states it right in the first bullet, is exemption for sales and use tax only, and it's not exemption from real personal property tax. So you got to follow through with everything. It's just one step follows the other. The user fees and the bylaws on page 5 of the bylaws. I'm questioning what if user fee is for service or is user fee membership fee? That would be my question. Article 5, Article of the Incorporation. In question 6, it was asked, does the corporation have members? And the answer was yes. How do you become a member? How many members are there? Look at this. Actually, she answered one of my other questions already. In their state appeal that they use to support their stuff, number 8A statement does not automatically qualify property as exempt for applicable tax purposes and does not establish it. That does establish it as an operator as non-for-profit. So non-for-profit doesn't automatically just get dumped into that. It's just one step of it. 5 and 8C in the response in this appeal, it is also stated it does not automatically qualify as exempt for ad valorem tax purposes. It is not a traditional school, college, university. That's very clear. The appeal that they're using clearly have no other purpose but to be used as that facility. Our facility here has many purposes. So that's leads me to ponder it. So that's therefore that's why we are here today and seeking a major decision on it.
Anything else?
May I respond?
Yes.
One, when we're talking about the prong number 3, in which it has to be for an indefinite number of people, and I understand what the assessor is saying is that, okay, some people use this building because there's memberships that are assessed, but I gave you 2 lists that shows that this building is open for various educational purposes, and a lot of those educational purposes have no charge. And so if you want to go to some of these educational opportunities, like the arthritis class, for example, you don't have to be a member for that. It's just a matter of anybody can go to those opportunities. So yes, there's a section that allows for memberships, but if Sherry Darling wanted to walk into the building today to go attend a seminar over there, that would be available for me as well. And so I think that we have to look at, yes, there is a membership component, but this building, based upon the documents that we submitted, shows that it is used for a wide array of educational purposes, even from outside groups coming in, that supports the purpose under the prong number 3. And so we do believe that it is available to an indefinite number of parties. As to what KTVO said, lots of information we all know are given to newspapers or television and radio stations, and I haven't read, what KTVO specifically reported, but because they decided to select a few issues out or statements and report that as fact, I mean, I think that would be the opinion of the reporter and not necessarily the holding possibility of the Knox County Community Center. We always know that they put their own slant on things, and so I think we have to look at the documents that come as fact as to how the Knox County Community Center is held out to the state of Missouri through the documents that are filed with the Secretary of State's office, that shows exactly what our purpose and what our mission is. And just skimming through, I've not had an opportunity to read this entire case about the tennis club. However, in looking at it, they also go through the same tests that we're talking, so I think everybody's on the same page. It's a three-pronged test. The problem as to why this tennis club failed is because they failed the second prong of the test. And it specifically says in here that because you fall short on one prong of the test, if you don't meet all three prongs, then you're not considered tax exempt. And it says that the primary use of this tennis club was to provide swimming and tennis facilities for the use of its members. Its inherent use is simply as stated in its articles of incorporation. So let's look at their articles of incorporation as to why they failed. And in their articles of incorporation, it says that their purpose is an athletic and social club. That's it. That's all it is. Where if you compare that to our articles of incorporation, where it specifically says that to construct, operate, and maintain a community center which will act as a 501c3 organization as defined by the Internal Revenue Service, providing educational opportunities that will improve the health and well-being of all its participants. And so I think that's how we would distinguish this one, at least on the surface. And once again, you have to understand that they take each case on a case-by-case basis based upon all the specific facts. But this one, to the Secretary of State's office, they say that we're merely intended for athletic and social purposes, where the Knox County Community Center says, you know what, no, we're far beyond athletic and social. They specifically say that we're here for educational opportunities, which then allows us to be exempt, we believe, under the statute.
Any questions? No. I'm fine. Anita? All right. Looks like we've got a lot of information to go through here. We go through this, which we will notify you in writing as to our decision. Discussion, I'd like to get time to go through this myself, from both sides. Yes. Would, how will it work for you? Would we reconvene, say, Friday or Monday?
I can't Monday, but I could Friday.
Friday, okay.
I'm good with
Suit
that.
you?
Yes.
Okay. We'll pour through all this information, reconvene on Friday, we can make a decision.
And would you like us to be present for that decision, or is that something you just want to notify us in writing?
It's however you wanna do it, you'll be notified in writing either way,
Okay.
so, yeah.
And what time are you reconvening?
9 o'clock work?
9's fine.
Okay.
Okay.
We're gonna be here.
All right, we'll reconvene at 9 o'clock on Friday.
We just want to thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you.
Thank
like to